Hi everyone, welcome to Graphic Design Bootcamp by Tech Anchor, where creativity finds direction. Subscribe now and let's dive in. So let's get started. Today we are going to continue with getting started with graphic design. In our last class, we stopped at units. So we'll be looking at conversion, subtraction, multiplication, and the rest. So let's launch our Photoshop. Okay, we are here. So what we are going to do now is in convention, like what if you are given a measurement in, let's say you are given a measurement, like okay, let's create a new document. Here you have pixel, inches, centimeters, millimeters, and so on. But here you don't have foot, you don't have yard, you don't have, there are some units you don't have here. But what if you carry out the measurement using foot, like you have the measurement in feet? So how do you, what will you do now? So the best thing to do now is to convert that measurement, to convert that unit to any of these. So let's say for example we have our width to be, let's say 10 feet. Our height to be 8 feet. Let's say we have something like this. But here we don't have feet here. So what do we do? The best thing to do is to convert this. So that is the best thing to do right now. So that's what we are going to do. So I will launch I'll just open my browser and I will say, let's say 10 feet to inches. I have something like this. 10 feet, that is equal to 120 inches. So let's say into bracket 120 inches. So let's check for 8 feet. So just change this to 8. 96. So let's just say this one will now be 96 inches. Okay. So what we are going to do now is, let's go back to our Photoshop. As usual, we are going to pick inches. That's our unit. Here we have 120 and 96. So the width is 120. So I will just put 120 and the height is 96. I'll just say 96 and I will say great. So this is a measurement. So this is it. You can do the same for pixel. Let's say for example, so you can do the same for pixels, centimeters, as the case may be. If I want to use pixels, so I will just convert the 10 feet. Let's just say this 10 feet to pixel. So I can, at times, can even use GPT. GPT, just say convert 10 feet to pixels. So GPT is going to do the work. Okay, since we are using, let's say we are using 300, so we can, let's just say we can go with this. That is 36,000 pixels. So as the case may be, it's still the same thing, but this one is just like what I was trying to explain, 72, 96, 300. That was saying if it's going to be for printing. Okay, now look at it. Look at what GPT said. He said that if it is for screen and web standard, like I said, you can use 72. That is for the resolution. If it is for common screen resolutions, 96, but something you want to print, use 300 so that the quality will be good. So you're just trying to break this down depending on the resolutions, like what we have here. So you just go with 36,000. So it's still the same thing. So you can convert to inches, feet. You can convert to inches, pixel, centimeters, millimeters. So that is basically how to do your conversion. So another thing now is subtraction. I can also call it reduction. So let's look at that one. Look at something like this. I have 120 inches, 96 inches. This is very, very big. So let me explain. This is very, very big. It's very, very big. I like saying that if you are using inches, your highest value shouldn't go beyond 15 inches. Okay, we were able to create this new document with that measurement, right? But when you start bringing pictures, shapes, start doing design, you notice that your Photoshop will begin to lag. It will even freeze. And if your laptop is not powerful, you are going to have issues when your value is that big. You will start having issues. Your Photoshop will crash, freeze, will just hang, all those things. So the best solution for that is the highest value shouldn't go beyond 15 inches. You can use from 8 to 15 inches. Sometimes for quality to be good, if something you want to print out, from 12 to 15. At least just use anything within that 13, 14, 15, 12 is okay. So I have something like 120 inches. It's too big. So what do we do now? We are going to reduce it. You know, feet is bigger than inches. That's when you have 10 feet, it will equals to 120 inches. The same way inches is bigger than pixels. So what we are going to do now is to reduce this. And to do this is to use our calculator. Let's use our calculator. So what we are going to do now is you start with the highest value, which is 120. 120, you say divided by, let's say 10. You have 12. Okay. Let's say 120 divided by, let me use 8. We have 15. Wow, perfect. We have 15. So we can use this. You can use 13, 14, something within that range. So we have 15. Perfect. So now we've reduced this to, let's show another. Okay, what do we have? 15 inches. So after reduction, So this one now, all we are going to do now is that same value, the same number used to divide this one is the same you will use for the 96 place. So you now say 96, what did I use? I used 8 divided by 8. That same value you use for the highest number, the same number you use for this one to divide this one is the same you will use for this. So once you are able to, before I tried 10, right, I didn't like it, so I now say okay, let me try 8. So once you just be trying those numbers till you get to the one that you feel like okay, it's okay. 8 gave me 15 inches, which I like, so I'm now going to use the 8 to divide the 96 to. So that is 12. Now say 12 inches. Okay, we have done the reduction. So now let's go back to, let's create a new document. I believe by now I should be able to know how to create a new document, right? So now we have 15 and 12. I have our inches. For this one is 15 and this one is 12. So now let's say create okay, I will do something. Okay, let me cancel it. I want to do something. Okay, let me start all over again. I want to do something. The first one is, let's just call this one original value, that 120 and 96. So let's give it a title. Original values was 120 and 96. Am I correct? Okay, 120 and 96. I will create. That is the original value. Original values. So now let's just say after we have done the reduction, let's call this one reduction, because I'm trying to do something. In our reduction we have 15 and 12. So now this one now is the original values, which we have 120 and 96. This is our reduction. You notice that it's the same size. You know that I'm switching the tabs. You can't even notice anything because it's the same size. It will still be the same size, but the, what should I use? Should I say heaviness has been reduced? This original values we have 120 inches and 96, too high, that is too heavy. When you start bringing in images, start designing, you notice that your Photoshop will freeze, will start misbehaving, will crash, will just be so dull. Except you have a laptop that is very, very powerful. Like my laptop can handle it to some extent, can handle it. But yours, maybe you are using HDD and you are using a low RAM, all those things. So you notice that it will be giving you issues. So the best things to do is to reduce it. To reduce, let's just say, okay, let me use something you can really understand, the heaviness, to reduce it. And it will still give you the same size. It won't change the size. This is the size of this value. Even after reduction, we still have the same size. It won't change it. So that is it for reduction. So that is how you reduce. So that is how you do reduction if your values are too big. And another thing is, at times, okay, I wanted to help a friend of mine with design. It was a competition, and these people, they say that your height shouldn't go beyond so value and your width shouldn't go beyond so value. They have it. if you try to go beyond that value, you can't create a new document in that particular platform. So I had to, after we have a measurement of what he wants to do and it was bigger than that, so I now use the reduction to reduce it so that we won't go beyond what was given to us. So in that case, you can use it. So now another thing, now I call it multiplication. Or you can still say increment, because this point now we were trying to increase. Now look at this, look at this. So we are going to use new. Okay, let's just try something new. Let's say we have something like, let's just say 2 inches, and this one you have okay, let's just say you have 4 inches, and you have 2 inches. Like I said, even if you are coming down, your highest value shouldn't go below 8. You shouldn't, your highest, so not even there are sometimes that your highest value might be 20, then your lowest value might be even 2 inches, depending on the size of something you are designing. If you are designing for something that is kind of a landscape, that is a long one, depending on what your height or your width might even go below the 8, but your highest value should be around that 15, So now that's what is going to happen here. Now look at our highest value is 4. Let's create a new document with this. Let's call this original let's use, this is increment. We are doing for increment. So this one now is 4 and this one is 2. Let's see. Okay, but notice that when you design with this, if you export that design, the quality will not be that good. If you want to print it out, it might come out blur. Like sometimes it might even be lower than this. The values might be lower than sometimes 2, 1 point something. The quality will not be good. It's because when you are going to print that design, you need a very high quality. So what you are going to do now is, you still pick your calculator. The same thing we did. You still pick your calculator. So let's calculate. So okay, let's do something. We have 4. Now say 4 times, let's use 3. That is 12. Okay, let's just use 4. 4 times 4. No, 4 times 4. That is 16. 16 is still okay. 15, 16, not too much. Your highest value, you can still leave it at 16. It's still okay. So let's use 16. 16 inches, because you are trying to increase it now. So let's, the same value, the same number like we did with the reduction. So you now say 2 times 4, because you are using 4. That is 8. So we have 8 inches. So now let's create another document. Now we'll call this one, let's just call this one increment. The other one was original, but this one is the increment. Original of increment. This one is the main increment. So now here we have 16 from our, after we increase everything, and now we have 8. Here we have 8, and you say great. So let's fit to this screen, fit on screen. Notice that this is the original of the increment, which was 4 and 2. So this is the one we now increase. It's still the same size. Now, if you are designing with this, the quality will not be that good. But if you design with this one, the quality will be good. So that is it. There are cases that the measurements come in such a way that the quality like is below what you should use. So you have to increase it. If it comes in such a way that is too big, you have to reduce it. So that is it about the, okay, we talk about the conversion, how you convert from, if you have a, let's just say you can even have a measurement in pixel but you like using inches, you can carry that pixel and convert to inches and use it. You can have a measurement in inches but you like using pixels, so you convert it. You can have a measurement in something that the unit is not even there in that software. I don't know the software you are going to use. You might go to any software like Canva, CorelDRAW, as the case may be. The unit might not be there, so you just look at the units that are there and the one you have and you just convert. So your subtraction, which is your reduction, your multiplication, which is the increment, so you do it. So for this class, we are going to stop here. In our next class, we will look at understanding file formats and saving and exporting files. So we are going to stop here. Thank you for watching and see you in the next class. Cheers.